your local election headquarters. This is The Insiders with Dave Price.
Took more than 2 years, but Iowa's unemployment rate is finally back down to 2.6%. That's where it stood before COVID-19's mighty blow in 2020. Now here's why the now hiring signs remain. There are still about 18,000 fewer people working in the state versus back then, so the jobs recovery is slower in Iowa compared to the rest of the U.S. Democratic candidate for governor Deidre DeJear said that some Iowans are still hurting, a recession's possible, schools need more attention.
Well, it's a large part of the reason why I'm running. I'm a small business owner, and I started my work to help other small businesses get started during the recession more than 15 years ago. And our business evolved over time, connecting with nonprofits to help the personal finances of everyday individuals, to help improve their credit scores, make them fit to purchase a home, to afford to make ends meet. And we were seeing a great deal of challenges that people were experiencing, whether they had disabilities, whether they were in poverty, or whether they were moderate income individuals. And the fact that we are at a point right now where inflation is high, from my vantage point, it's important to understand that these moments are inevitable in our history. A recession will happen again. And when it does happen, I want to make sure that Iowans are prepared to weather the storm because of the challenges that COVID dealt us. It showed us the weak infrastructure that we had related to our education system, our healthcare system, and our employment system. And so from my vantage point, I want to be more preventative versus reactive. And while inflation is happening and we don't have a lot of control over that at the statewide level, what we do have control over is helping Iowans get through these moments.
You mentioned COVID and education. Just one little microcosm of an example here. The Des Moines the Des Moines School Board was talking about young black men, ninth graders. Only like 1 in 12 was getting a B or better in algebra. Now that's just one little sliver, obviously, of the whole economic situation. But it's half the level that it was the year before. So it appears this may be some of the negative things that could come from people having to learn remotely and not having the support at home to do that. Looking forward, how do we help not just those young men, but more broadly, how do we help those who have fallen behind where remote learning didn't work for whatever reason?
We have to invest in our systems that are built to make sure that people are on par and excelling. We have an education system in the state that was once number one. And under this current governor's leadership, we're falling farther and farther down the list, 18, 19, 20. In order for us to ensure that those young black men and any other child that's going through public education in our system, in order to ensure that they're going to thrive, we have to make sure that we meet them at the moment in which they're introduced to that system. And I want to move that up because right now, as I'm talking to kindergarten teachers, they're saying that their 5-year-olds are coming in farther and farther behind. We need to increase access to early childhood education for our 3- and 4-year-olds. Every parent, every child in the state should have access to at least 30 hours of universal pre-K or child care so they can be in the situation where they're able to learn.
Is that government funded? How do
we have to fund it. We have to fund it. We have to increase the pipeline to get educators into our system right now. We know, considering what's happening right now, that teachers are leaving and folks within the system are leaving. We have to bring them back because they're adding a great deal of value, not only to our students, but the fabric of our communities. We also have to ensure that we're preparing our students when they're in high school. It's important for students who want to go to college to have that preparatory learning, who want to go to something post-secondary. But if a child graduates as a senior and just so happens to want to get a job, that should be possible. And if they want to get a job, they should only have to work one job to make ends meet. That means we increase our pipelines with our public institutions and our trades and our community colleges so that they have a pathway to truly educate our students. We need to fill nearly 100,000 jobs today. And our students are an important part of that process. If we get those opportunities into the classroom where they're learning these trades, especially for the occupations where we have skills gaps, where we have worker shortages, that is going to not only benefit their lives, it's going to benefit the entire state.
So we have this teacher shortage and districts are still trying to figure out how they're going to fill these slots now that they need in just a month from now or so. How do you fix that as governor? What's going to attract more teachers to the profession and keep them?
Well, one thing, it's a governor that sees them, hears them, and understands them, and takes their expertise into advisement. That's critical. I am not an educator by trade. I come from a family of educators. I've got my grandmother was a teacher for more than 30 years in a rural town in Mississippi. And so I value the craft, and I know I would not be here today. You would not be here today had it not been for educators and everybody who's a part of making our schools work, being there. And so it's important that we increase the pipeline. And what I would like to see happen is that we reinstate a program that we've seen in prior administrations. We saw it under the Culver administration as of recent, where teachers who commit, educators who commit to working in our schools for at least 7 years in the state of Iowa, their loans will be forgiven. We also have to make college more affordable in this state. When I talk about funding public education, that is inclusive of our community colleges and our regions. I was visiting one of our regions not too long ago. One small department, the politics and the history department, was trying to find $1 million because they had a budget shortfall. And I said, where are you going to cut? Where did they tell me? Work study. The cost is being passed on to our students. So if we want educators, we have to make sure that the process, the credentials that we're requiring them to have when they get into the classroom, that it's affordable, it's accessible for them to get those credentials. It's not just one fix, this where we are right now. It's full scope. And we've got to look at the whole person and the whole situation related to our challenges. But that's what it means to be a leader. Having a very wide vision of what success looks like and bringing along those people who can bolster that vision and make it happen.
Okay, so if Republicans hear this and they say, money, 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 all the things you're talking about, is a lot more state money going at this thing, and they're focused on cutting taxes.
Yeah, I want to
So what's this going to cost?
Well, I want to put taxpayer dollars to use. We've already seen that we can, acquire those taxpayer dollars. We're sitting on more than a $1.2 billion surplus. Now, as a small business owner, I want to break the bank. I believe in having a nest egg for the emergency situations, but that's more than a nest egg. $300 million can immediately go into our education system to better help our students and our educators all across the state right now, today. And so we've got the resources. When the other side will say we're overtaxing Iowans, my argument is no, we're not putting taxpayer dollars to use. We should have had 6 mental health care access points in this state by July of last year. We have 2. We have 600 mental health care beds for a population of more than 3 million people. And folks are wondering, why do I have to wait 6 months to get an appointment? I've met with mothers who are 6 months pregnant and they are insured and can't see an OBGYN. So we have a challenge right now to getting people the fundamental accesses that they deserve as Iowans. Public education, access to health care, access to clean water, all of these things that we can resolve, but we need the leadership that's going to focus on the state for us to get it happen.
The governor campaigned against some members of her own party who stopped her from getting through her plan to try to get more students the option of affording private schools. Is that anything you can get on board with, to put more tax dollars to help kids go private? I believe wholeheartedly that our public dollars go to our public schools. We already know that we fund our private schools, each student, each pupil, to ensure that they get the Common Core, the science, the math, the English, and the social studies. We already fund that part. We don't need to fund the tuition. We know right now that 100% of our students need the attention of our leadership at this very point in time, ahead of this upcoming school district. But she forgoed and even decided not to end session on the account of just only advocating for 2%. I just can't come to terms with that. So why do you think she wanted this? Why did she want to push this?
I can't answer that question, but what I can say is that it was not what Iowa needed. What we needed was a comprehensive approach to how we resolve the challenges with our workforce and our education system, inclusive of our education, or of our healthcare and our mental health care system. All of those systems should be working comprehensively together, and we don't see that happening right now. And so, from my vantage point, all I can see is that it's political. because there was no interest for any Iowans in that. And that's why you saw other Republicans that were falling back saying, no, I don't agree with this. And I'll be honest, Dave, I've talked to Republicans all over the state. I've talked to independents across the state. They're coming to our events. They're calling me on my phone. And from their vantage point, the direction of this current governor is too extreme for their liking. They do not see a pro-Iowa agenda in how she communicates and how she's leading right now.
All right, now back in 2018, Democrat Fred Hubbell won 1 county for every 8 counties that Kim Reynolds won. Coming up next, how DeGier views this rural versus urban difference.